Hi Cancer, welcome to your Magician reading for 2020. We're taking a journey through the tarot here. The reading I did before this was the Fool's Journey. The whole thing's a Fool's Journey, but it was focused on the Fool and that energy, so check that out if you haven't yet. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, because that's what I do here, but it could resonate in other areas of your life. Check the description box below for all the particulars you need to know about this reading, including the Recommend a Reader shout out, which goes to True Love Tarot. Love and support to her. Check her out. Show her some love and support. All right. Let's see what else. This is intended to be a romantic love reading. Did I say that? I think I did. This could resonate as yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. And as you know, this could also be in other areas of your life. It has been all over the place, just saying. So far, there's been things about work, about friends, about kids, about, like, it's just, yeah, where your energy needs to go, where it's been going, where it needs to go for this year. Okay. All right. What else for Cancer? What do we got here for your magicians, your inner magician? Okay. Queen of Swords. Yay! Being in a very decisive space. Good for you. All right. Ace of Swords. I thought I grabbed two there. Ace of Swords. Talk about decisive and seeing things clearly. Whew. Are you wanting someone else to see things clearly? Temperance. That could be Sagittarius. Ten of Swords. Oh, okay. You're wanting to see things clearly. Okay. The Devil. This one's come up quite a bit in this space. The Devil, Capricorn. Two of Cups. Yay. The Magician, Gemini. Yay. Glad you decided to join the conversation. Gemini, Virgos, or Aries. Yay for that. This is happening. Okay. I'm glad for that, because this is you figuring out your next move. You've broken free from something. You're not quite ready for something else yet, but what's done is done, and you've accepted that. So that's for the Cancers I'm reading for. This freedom, this independence, this clarity is a long time coming for you. And some of you might be feeling like, okay, is this it though? So this is about taking a look at your next move and looking at what brought you to that. It's like you can finally take a look at what once was and why. And for the Cancers I'm reading for, you thrive in partnership and connection. And I think this was one of those things where it took you a long time to look at or process, just because, and this is over the whole year, like the year ahead of us. So just keep in mind that this is, it's not going to happen in 1 month. This is you kind of just figuring out the dynamics of what and why. You see things clearly now, and you really do want to create a new that's coming. Not quite ready yet, but you thrive in connection and partnership. So it's just about finding the right balance for that. But it feels like you're still wanting some time to think about things. So, all right. What else? Okay, so what's this Ace of Swords about? Feels like you're thinking about things, but you're not quite there yet to put action behind it. This is very passive here. We got the Two of Cups. All right. So what's his Temperance about for a Cancerian? What's his Temperance about? The Devil. Okay. So that, okay, what's his Ten of Swords about? His Ten of Swords about? Ace of Wands. Okay. See, there's this whole thinking about things. Just taking a look at everything. You're not afraid anymore. You're finally okay with it's like you're just starting to be like, well, maybe this could be a possibility. Like for 2020, maybe I might have a new relationship. There's peace in the land. You're parsing out what happened. You're thinking about things. You've got clarity, thinking about what your next move is. You're examining this. This doesn't have a hold on you anymore. So you're not shying away from this and trying to replace it with something. You've got perspective, at least. And You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, I remember years ago, I was talking to somebody and I freaked out because I thought, oh my gosh, there's a virus on the computer, like work computer or something. And they said, it's just a virus. Jeez. I just gonna want to open it up and look at it. And I was like, don't click on the thing. You're gonna infect the whole system or whatever. And that's what this is. It's like it's just a virus. It was just something on how I got perspective. I'm good. And which is what you wanted. Which, I mean, this is a long time coming. We got swords here, which is having perspective, or at least seeing things clearly, having an awareness. In this case, in particular, and that's further extended by this temperance here, having awareness, having perspective, understanding at least of the dynamics of something or why you do what you do. So that's good. It's not like you're trying to run from that. What's this devil about? Well, the devil again. Okay. What's the devil about? The Lovers. All right. What's this temperance about? I didn't know temperance. I did the temperance. What's this Two of Cups about? What's Two of Cups? Five of Swords. Okay. What's this Magician about? Yay for the Magician. What's this Magician about? Eight of Swords. Okay. You're still doing the thing. You're still figuring things out. There's no hurry. There's no rush. There's something coming in October-ish. 10. Maybe that's why. But it's not until later in the year. And for the Cancers I'm reading for, you're fine with that because you're still kind of taking stock of things and your energy. You and Pisces, so far, you two are in no hurry and you're on track. Like you're right where you should be. It's not that your energy would best be suited over here. You thrive in partnership, but you're not ready yet and you're okay with not being ready. You don't see it as a deficit. You're not ashamed anymore. You don't feel trapped. You just feel like I can finally take a look at what was and where my life's at and what I want and make some decisions based on that, male or female. But this is, could be thinking about a Libra, but Gemini, Taurus, or Libra right here. It's like Capricorn. Okay, yeah. But for the Cancers I'm reading for, this is about you coming to terms with just where you're at in your life, taking stock, finally being able to have that perspective. It's been hard won. To look at the trauma objectively, to look at the drama objectively, to look at your choice, no judgment, seeing it for what it is and trying to understand it. It's like there's peace in the land and you can look at this virus objectively now. And you can deal with, in particular, the relationship. And perhaps the type of people you choose that aren't the best for you because you've got enough distance from the relation. It's no longer painful. And it could be that you're taking stock of all of your relationships, but there's clarity and you're okay with kind of slowly coming to terms with it and understanding it. And that's going to inform your decision about future relationships and what you want in the future. You're not ready. You're not quite ready to get out there and get after it, though. You're still this new thing that's coming. There's not, I wouldn't say there's not an interest in it, but there's no hurry. And if there is, you're like, I'll wait for the next situation because I'm not going to do anything I'm not ready for, which is a good attitude to have for you. So you're doing everything right. It's going to take as long as it takes. And there's still some fear about the newness of something coming, a new relationship, a new situation. But you've got it in perspective. Don't let that be an excuse, though, when the time comes to shy away from it or to make excuses or to recluse yourself. There might be a tendency to do that just because it's scary and new and it's been a while. But, it is what it is. And you get to decide. You get to have choice in it. So it's not like you're got to be ready. It's going to pass you by. That's another thing, too. There's a shift. You're not afraid anymore. And that's come up a couple times in a couple readings. You're not afraid. So you can look at this in the face and see it for what it is. It's very freeing because then you can do what you want with it. You can set it down. You can choose it. This is not, make no mistake though, this is not about getting rid of it once and for all and resolving it. You're always going to have these issues, but You know that now. It's about what you do with it. It's about it being transmuted into like, oh, nope, I'm coming up. Understanding this leads to empowerment. It leads to you being able to make a choice about, oh, am I going to be triggered, or am I going to go do the new coping mechanism I put in place so that when this happens, because you are going to be triggered, everybody is, are you going to go for the such and such that's not a really good coping mechanism, or are you going to handle it this way? This becomes a series of choices rather than being trapped and not being able to get out from under something and feeling like an idiot afterwards. This is like, oh crap, I had a bad day. Well, tomorrow's a new day, isn't it? Or, there's no longer any weight to this. It's about understanding what and why. And if you aren't there yet, it's coming. The understanding of what and why you choose and what the issues are with your, and specifically important connections with others, especially romantic relationships, that's coming. So if you're not quite clear on it yet, it's coming. The majority of this year is about moving through that and seeing it for what it is and having this perspective and understanding of it to where there's forgiveness. You're not ashamed anymore, and there's acceptance. And you see this trauma and this shame as a series of choices or events, and it's much easier to parcel out and to put in perspective when you just see it as a series of events because of choices you've made, and now I get to do it differently. I get to choose differently. I don't know how yet. I'm kind of scared, but man, when I'm ready, look out. Because I'm not messing around. Honestly, I just feel so much lighter. It's nice. This right here. It's not heavy anymore. Probably because this one's in charge right now. That very discerning, decisive, exacting, perceptive, assertive energy. What better to go up against this sneaky, scary, entrapping. Oh no, don't try that with her. Could be male or female, but this energy doesn't put up with this. They're not afraid. What else for Cancerian? 8 of Cups. Yay. Perspective. Quite literally walking away, moving on. This doesn't have the hold on you that it did before. And yay. What else for Cancerian? Oopsie. What's for Cancerian? 3 of Swords. Okay, so if you've been putting off dealing with this, the key lies, which you haven't, it's just happening, maybe it's happening a little slower, but it doesn't feel like there's any fear here. But sometimes people, and I'm not saying you do, but sometimes there's this, because we see people kind of be over the top about their grief, and it's like, oh my gosh, that must have really sucked. There's this fear, and plus it hurts, right? But knowing that, and knowing that it's just going to be this like, okay, I don't have to let it overtake me. It's taking a very methodical, practical approach to grieving can mitigate a lot of the pain of grieving. Having it in perspective, going, well, you know what, it happens, stuff happens. You're not paralyzed by this. You're able to move through it. You're able to walk away. You're able to have perspective. You're able to have choice. This isn't the be it end all. We don't stop here. Having a practical approach in place, or just knowing that, all right, it's going to be horrible until it isn't, but this isn't all that I'm going to feel, and it's not going to be this way forever. Perspective. This isn't as big as it needs to be because of the awareness and the seeing it as a series of events, and this is part of life, and we move on and we grow, and this is not all I'm ever going to feel. What else for Cancerian? Whoopsie. 3 of Wands. Okay, so we got 3 and 3 here. Interesting. Right now, well, good. Yay for that. Yay for the calmness and the there being peace and calm. Yay for that. You don't need this being compounded by anything. The thing is, though, that didn't just happen. You've worked very hard to have that. to have your life very peaceful and calm right now. So good. I'm glad for that. It's not like chaos is happening and you're just trying to think clearly. You're very deliberate about your boundaries in this sense. Been low drama for a while. That's good. 3 of Wands. Okay. There's also this, can I just say too, that you're trying to move through the grief on your own terms has been very beneficial, because the rest of your life is quite secure and calm and peaceful and intentional. Like, you've set it up to be that way. It didn't just happen, so it's not going to leave you. It's not going to be fleeting because you've worked a long time to set it that way. So this is you being intentional about your choices and being decisive and very clear about what you want moving forward. Because you're letting this inform you and you're moving through it, you're not stuck here. This gets transmuted to clear-headed choices and looking to the future after you move through this, knowing that you're going to move through this, that this is passing, and that it's going to lead to choice. And what do you want to do next? Not what's going to happen to me. What are you going to create next? Look at that. What are you going to create next? That's for Cancerian. Huh? Well, okay then. 4 of Wands. There's the answer to that question. In time, when you're ready, look what's coming. Awesome communal connection with someone. The relationship that you want. Wanting the relationship that you want. Not just, this isn't just going to happen. You're going to be intentional about creating it. Not yet. Not ready yet. It's okay. Still working through some things. But you've got it in perspective. And when you're ready, you're going to be in the driver's seat. There's a shift in perspective, because when you see that this didn't just happen to you, it was a series of choices and events, that gives you dominion and control over your future choices and events, and you create differently. So this devil gets transmuted to intentional choosing and choice and creating what you want and being a part of connections that you want, because you've moved through this. You see it for what it is. You understand the dynamics of what you choose and why, or at least you're cutting yourself some slack, and you're not sentencing yourself to stay in something, or you get to leave when it stops working for you. You don't need to stay and wear yourself out to where you're terrified of new beginnings because you get destroyed every time. No more. That doesn't happen to people that are intentional about their choosing. If it gets weird, they get out. They're worth more than that, and they know it. And this is you realizing that, and look what's waiting for you. 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, Magician. Nice. Creating the love that you want, and not being like, okay, I finally arrived. Okay, this is it. This is what. No, there's still choice in that. It's a process. This is not the be it end all. This is deciding as you go, rather than feeling stuck and then clawing your way out and not knowing what to do afterwards. No more. At least not in 2020. The year of hindsight. The year of wisdom. I like that. The worst is over. I like that. I mean, we got 2 devils here, but it's about awareness and about realizing what went on and what happened. And that's why it's kind of been a slow journey. And it feels like in the last 3 months, you're finally, for the Cancers that I'm reading for, you're coming up on something that you're finally okay with it being the way that it is, and not in a hurry anymore to have things be better and safe, and to have you're like, oh wait, well, no, I don't want it to speed up now. I'm kind of liking the lack of pressure and obligation, and my life is good, and I'm gonna kind of enjoy this time now about thinking about what I want and taking it slow, because you can't circumvent this, and you don't want to. It's gonna bite you in the behind later. So, but what I like about this, honestly, is that there's this perspective here. This is not all you're going to feel. This is not all that your life will be. It'll be a part of it, and you move through it. And you have that awareness now. I'm not preaching something new here. I'm preaching the choir, because you know this. And if it isn't happening already, which it feels like it is, then it's coming, but you have it in perspective. You're not afraid anymore, not like you were before. Because you have time to think, for one thing. Good Lord. What else for Cancerian? This puts you in a position to make decisions about your next connection, about the kind of love that you want. I love it. Love it. Emperor reversed. No more. And okay, so this, it was like that though, wasn't it? Okay, so Temperance reversed, Emperor reversed. Yes. No wonder why you're gun shy. No wonder why you're like, oh no. Because we've got letting go on the one hand, but also there is probably an inordinate amount of control. This could be the bully card, but this is letting go of control and letting things be what they are, so that you're not trying to hurry things up or see things different. You're letting what needs to be, but at the same time, you're not in a situation where you're dealing with somebody that's out of control and trying to control you. That's over. Those days are done. And you're not in any hurry to enter into anything new, because you don't ever want to be in this position again, dealing with somebody that is out of control and is trying to control you, or all your energy is spent managing them and taking care of them. And this is not you, this is the other person's energy. Because what's showing here is you coming back, you stepping back into who you are. You took a kind of a brief grief trip, but you're back. And now is the processing and understanding of it. And later on towards the end of the year, there's a new relationship coming. But for right now, you're still moving through things and rebuilding and kind of enjoying the solace still. So your energy is spent. Your energy is right where it should be, honestly. Some of these are about people pulling back and repositioning. Yours is right where it should be. When you're ready, you will put yourself back out there. But you're not ready yet, and you don't really want it. For the Cancers I'm reading for, your relationship is not where it's at right now. You're more interested, finally, because there's no fear, you're more interested in looking at the ins and outs and just kind of figuring things out on your own, having your life to yourself. So as you move through this, you'll be ready to create anew intentionally and be able to make decisions about what you want in a relationship. No more of this fear hostage crap. We got the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords. All right. I didn't do the things. Okay, hold on. Two more. What else for Cancerian? What else for Cancerian? Cancer. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Yep. Perfect. This is because you're not in any hurry, so you're moving through it and you're allowing it to take form and take shape and understand it. There was a sense before just to kind of get away from a situation and sequester and keep yourself safe and secure, and you love your life, and it's so not that anymore, thank God. But this is more of a that is like the worst of it's over. Now you can you're not afraid of that computer virus anymore. It's just a virus. It's like you understand yourself, so this doesn't scare you anymore. It's a part of you. It needs to be managed. It's not going to be cured. It's part of who you are, but it's just a part of you. This is just a part of your day. This is not all you are, all you're going to feel. You're moving through it and you're managing it. This is about management and having perspective. This isn't the big bad anymore. Where's the other one? Oh, there. Okay. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. Shucks. What else for Cancerian? What else for Cancerian? Oh, that could be Aries or Sag, by the way. 10 of Swords. Yay, the worst is over. Okay, so the worst is over. It's almost like you finally accepting the ending and being able to walk away and put it in perspective and create anew, because there's this finality and this acceptance. We got the 10 of Swords twice. This is you coming to terms with that, processing it, moving through it. Okay. All right, Cancerian, thank you for stopping by this, 25 minutes. Much love to you. Support 2020, year of perspective, right? I hope to see you in the next reading. I'm glad for this. I'm glad you're moving through it. I love this because this is intentional. That's the best part of this, because there's this fear, and then Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, Two of Cups. Magician, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands. This is you coming out the other side ready, but that's not the end goal anymore. It's like, okay, ready for the next one. No, I'll figure it out as I go. I'm good. Okay. So I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you for stopping by. You take care.